in Mexico. We'll also like to welcome Rodrigo de la Parra. Thank you so much for being here. Rodrigo is the VP for ICANN Latin American. And thank you, all of you, civil society, people from Mexico joining the youth IGF program, people from ILAC, from Latin America. Thank you so much for being here. And to get started, I would like to see if the internet helps us, and we can show an intro video. Can you help me with the video back there? Chengatai, welcome. Whoa, Mexico. Thank you so much. We are so happy to be your host next year if the mandate is renewed. So we're really working very hard to make a new era for IGF really amazing in 2016. And with this in mind, there are three things that are shaping our society these days: internet, innovation, and technology. And as most of you know, every second, many people is changing millions of emails, having more than 1,700 Skype calls. They're making more than 40,000 search in Google. And we need to make sure that the benefits that innovation, internet, and technology have for the world is available to everyone. So in Mexico, we take that very seriously. And I want to give you an insight of what is the current situation in Mexico. We have 47 internet users currently. Remember that we are a big country. We had 122 million population. We have more than 100 million mobile phone users, so mobile policies are very important for us. We have 31 million households with access to the internet. And for those internet users in Mexico, we have a very highly used, it's not working, yeah. 94% use Facebook account. We have a lot of promotion of e-commerce. 64% of internet users use credit card to do e-commerce transactions, and we want these numbers to grow. And in terms of e-government initiatives, we have a national digital strategy, which is managed and directed from the President's office. We have an official one-stop shop portal, which is GovMX, which is our major digital channel to communicate with citizens. We have an e-participation platform. We are really pushing into using internet, innovation, and technology to have an open and continuous dialogue with the citizen. We have a very strong policy of identity using digital signature for a lot of government services. And we have a very strong policy also for accessibility, especially in digital channels for those people with disabilities. We are also promoting a lot of M-government initiative with more than 7 government applications available through our open data portal. I don't know if it's working. And one of the most important things that we have been working on is on structural constitutional reforms that can help us democratize access to better development opportunities. During the first year of President Peña Nieto's government, we made 11 constitutional reforms. And one of the most important one is telecommunications reform. The telecommunications reform sets a new era in Mexico for taking advantage of digital technology. First of all, we made internet a constitutional right for every Mexican in the country. And this is a huge change for our citizens. That means that we, as government, are obligated to provide internet access to every Mexican in the country. And that's a huge challenge. That implies that we need to do a lot of updating in our legal framework to make sure that we have an autonomous Institute of Telecommunications, which is responsible for doing all the regulation within the sector, increasing competition and promoting the prices of telecommunication services. Also, the Constitution mandates to have a universal digital inclusion policy. And that digital inclusion policy is a national digital strategy. And it's mandated in the Constitution that we have that policy in place to make sure that people take advantage of internet and really use it to change and to have a better development opportunity. We also have a very aggressive program in terms of boosting coverage in infrastructure. It is run by the Ministry of Telecommunications and it's called México Conectado. The National Digital Strategy is an action plan that was put in place in order to build a digital Mexico in which technology and innovation will contribute to achieve major development goals. It is managed under the President's office. It is transversal. It is within the National Development Plan, and that is very important for us because in Mexico, everything that is within the National Development Plan has budget allocated to make that plan a reality. So those action lines within the National Development Plan related to the National Digital Strategy have a budget in each of the ministry that is dedicated to digitizing government services and to making the government more efficient. What are the priorities within the National Digital Strategy? We have 5 main objectives and 5 enablers. Our 5 priorities is to use technology, internet, and innovation to transform the government, to digitize our economy, to transform our education, to make more effective our health services, to promote civic innovation and civic participation, and we have 5 enablers that go transversal to these objectives. Connectivity is our priority. We still have a lot of people without access to the internet, and we're working very aggressively in making sure that all public spaces provides free access to internet. We have a lot of programs related to inclusion and digital skills. We promote a lot of interoperability to make sure that we save time to our citizens and provide better services without having to ask for the same information that the government already has. We have a very strong legal framework to provide security and legal certainty to all electronic transactions, and we have a very aggressive open data policy. Within our policy of government transformation, our major project is called GovMX. And this is a huge effort that we're doing to put in one place all government information related to more than 278 government agencies to provide access to all federal services online and to promote citizens' participations through electronic platforms. And this is very important change of paradigm in public sector, because having digital services is the most effective way to democratize access. Internet has no frontiers, so every Mexican in the world, no matter what it is, no matter the time, no matter the device, is able to access government services using digital channels. And for the government, it's very cheap. Providing digital services is 95% cheaper than providing services on regular offices. So we're really putting a lot of effort in making the digitization of services a priority. According to last year's inventory of government services, we have more than 6,000, out of which we selected 800 for this year digitization program. And within that digitization program, we standardize how we provide services to citizens, making it more accessible. We put a lot of effort in standardizing how people are using online services. We promote the use of electronic signatures, so people doesn't have to go to government offices to do and to access government services. And we are working very strongly with all government agencies in making these services better. As I mentioned before, we have more than 1,700 mobile applications available for citizens where they can do a lot of government services online. And the benefits that internet, innovation, and technology provides to the Mexican population is amazing. And we are going to keep having this aggressive digitization program during the last 3 years of this government. What are our priorities looking ahead? We keep to increase interoperability of services. The less people need to go to an office is the better, and internet is a great tool to make that a reality. We encourage a lot of simplification of services using digital technology. We promote the use of reusable components of e-government. We're really looking into increasing transparency, reduce corruption, and making sure that everyone can access free digital services online anywhere in the country thanks to the internet. We also believe in the Open Government Partnership. We were the president of the partnership for the 2014-2015 period. And for those of you who do not know what is the Open Government Partnership, this is a partnership that was created in 2011 with 8 countries. And by the end of this year, we are 69 countries who believe that an open government is capable to be more transparent, to promote access to information, more accountable, and more open to have citizen participation and innovation. Those are the principles of the Open Government Partnership, and countries participating in this initiative are obligated to have an action plan that reflects that they are committed to these principles. And in the case of Mexico, we decided to have I don't think it's working, to have a governance body where the National Institute to Access Information participates very actively. Civil society, for the last action plan related to open government, we had 26 commitments that were fulfilled 100%. And all those 26 commitments has to use with internet, open information, open data, and it's very relevant for us that we can also promote open government at the subnational level. We were very active the last UN General Assembly, since we promote that OGP member countries join a declaration in order to use open government principles to implement the 2030 agenda. We also presented a toolkit to have sustainable development goals indicators available online at subnational levels. And we have the platform made in open and public software, and it's available for other countries to use that platform to be able to report on the commitments for the 2030 development agenda. It's going very slow, and I'm really worried about the time. So I'm just gonna keep talking, because if I wait for that presentation. And one of the other initiatives that we're really working on is on internet governance. And within internet governance, we have at a national level an ecosystem and an initiative where we sit with academia, with civil society, with government and private sector. And so far, we had 2 national IGFs, one in 2013, one in 2015. We were the host for the regional IGF that we put together with the ILAC meeting. And the ILAC meeting is a regional mechanism where countries from the Latin American and the Caribbean get together to have a consensus agreement of what are our priorities for the Latin American and the Caribbean digital agenda. And since here we have people from the Internet Governance Initiative, I would like to share with them what is their experience of that group in promoting internet governance in Mexico. So, Leon.
Hello, everyone. This is Leon Sanchez. Some of you already know me. Many of you already know me. And well, as Yolanda was saying, we have begun working on setting up a group, a multi-stakeholder group that is beginning to try to create awareness and consciousness at civil society level and an academic level, and of course technical community level, of the internet governance movement around the world. And for these, we have already organized 2 events, one on 2014, the second one on 2015. And we have been partnering with different sectors, of course. We have been holding meetings between this group that encompasses members from the academic grounds. We have also partnered with some companies like Google, Microsoft. We have been partnering with universities as the National University in Mexico, the Tecnológico Monterrey. We have been partnering with NIC Mexico. We have been partnering with ICANN and ISOC. And, well, of course, this group began as an exercise to try, as I said, to create awareness on how internet governance actually works around the world. And since we are hoping to actually hold or to host the IGF in 2016, it seemed like a good idea to try to bring more people into the debate, because we have a very important basis of activists around Mexico that have been able to achieve a lot of goals in regard to internet, and some initiatives that have been presented in a let's say not the best way, and that have been perceived as to wanting to regulate internet. So taking advantage of this network that already exists, the intent of this work is to actually bring those people, those activists, into the conversation and try to create a very inclusive and very open and diverse forum in which we can all, of course, sit at the table and exchange our views and try to achieve bottom-up and consensus-driven resolutions that could guide not only the efforts from civil society, academia, technical community, but also with the aid of the work, who has been very helpful in trying to facilitate all what it's needed for us to actually get together and discuss these initiatives. So I think that we are still in baby steps maybe in Mexico, but as you look at the initiative, I think that it's already blossoming, because we were able to have this first forum in 2014, and I think it was attended by maybe some 100 or 150 people. And then we held this second forum on 2015, which had far more participation, and I think that it was attended by maybe 200 or in between 200 or 300 persons. And we are continuing to go to the universities, speak about internet governance. We're trying to get young people involved. We are aware that we need a new generation of leaders that should come to these forums, and also ICANN meetings, IETF meetings. We are trying to create awareness that there are a lot of scholarship programs that could be used and that people could take advantage of. So, of course, our intent is to continue to build upon the multi-stakeholder model in Mexico and try to bring as many people into the conversation as possible. Thank you, Yolanda.
Thank you, Leon. And also, I would like to ask for Rodrigo de la Parra to also share with us some of his insights on how the Internet Governance Initiative is working in Mexico.
Thank you very much, Yolanda, and good afternoon, everyone. So I've had the opportunity to attend several of the events and being witness of the creation of the recent initiatives in the Latin American Caribbean region of national multi-stakeholder dialogues, movements, platforms, whatever you would like to call them. Of course, in this region we have the example of Brazil, the CGI, which is let's say a model, just one model of a very institutionalized platform for dealing with internet governance. But the important thing is that these platforms can come in different shapes and forms according to each of the country's own reality and how the different key players they want to have this kind of dialogue. The example of Mexico, I am an active participant of the initiative group in Mexico, and although it's informal in the way that it's not formally body, it's not formally constituted body, it's based on this volunteer work of all the different key players. And I think this can, there's not a recipe of how to make a national multi-stakeholder model as long as it is precisely multi-stakeholder, where you can have people from government, civil society, technical community, private sector participating in this. And this is the case also in Mexico. And also it has an open platform. You can invite more people to join. So I see that, well, as Yolanda and Leon mentioned, this is already showing some interesting results, 2 editions of the dialogues or national IGFs in Mexico. Plus, there are now some capacity building initiatives as well happening in different universities of the country, where the members of the group and others are now teaching internet governance in different universities of Mexico. So I think it's a very good effort going in the right direction, and I'm sure it's going to continue maturing.
Thank you, Rodrigo. And I think one of the most innovative initiatives this year in this Global IGF is the youth program. And since we have 2 members from Mexico with us right now, I would like for them to share their views and their experiences so far in this IGF. Diana?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, the Youth IGF program is a proposal that looks for involve all the young people in the internet governance debate. In this program, there are 4 Mexicans that we are participating in this program, and this is a great experience because what the young has seen is that we are not involving in this kind of things. We don't know about internet governance, so we have the opportunity to know, to start knowing, start debating, and start working in these kind of topics. That's why we want to, the young people, the old youngs that are participating in this forum, are proposing to create an observatory, a young observatory, in order to bring this debate, this information, this knowledge to all the region in America Latina. So that's our job here.
Thank you, girls. And Israel, would you like to share some of the working, maybe talk about the manifest, which is an ongoing work of the Internet Governance Initiative right now?
Yeah, thank you. Here in Mexico, in Mexico we have a lot of work on internet governance. We have the initiative group on internet governance, and part of the work that we have done is, for example, the manifest on internet governance is a document. It's an ongoing process that talks about the consensus that we reach in the local ecosystem. We talk about the multi-stakeholder model, about human rights, about net neutrality. It's a document with a very rich approach, I think, because it has the participation of the community. It's open to comments, and we will be happy if you can share with us your comments, your points of view, because it's an ongoing process.
Thank you. And since we are very sensitive of the time, just to summarize, Mexico is very committed to use internet innovation and technologies to really foster the development of our country. We are very proud to have the opportunity to host IGF 2016 if the mandate is renewed, and we definitely believe that these type of conversations add a lot of value to the process, and we need to include more people, make it more open, invite more civil society, more developing countries into that conversation, indigenous communities, elder, youth. Everyone should be part of the benefits of internet. And all of us are responsible to making that happen in each of our countries and in the world. Thank you so much for joining this workshop.
Excuse me, if you can I have your attention a little bit, please. We're here, civil society from Mexico, actually here. I just want to say some things about Mexico as well. According to the Inter-American Commission of Human Rights, the Special Rapporteur on Torture, and other special procedures of the UN, Mexico is going through a serious human rights crisis, characterized by forced disappearances, torture, and extrajudicial killings, which are systematic. Mexico is also one of the most dangerous places to be a journalist. 67 journalists have been killed in the last decade. Mexico is also the biggest purchaser of hacking team of malware by the Italian company, has more clients and more money spent, and it has been proven that it's been used against political adversaries as well. The telecommunications law that has been paraded here also includes data retention for 2 years and invades privacy of citizens in a systematic way. Mexico is part of the TPP, which was discussed and negotiated in secret. So we appreciate the availability of the government to discuss these issues. We've participated, and many groups here have participated in internet governance discussions in Mexico and here. But we would like to, they will not work if we don't have open discussions about these issues and there's not accountability of the government. Because none of these policies that you are defending and that we are criticizing, you are defending them in public in front of us. I've been in here, for example, we've been discussing telecommunications law, hacking team, TPP in many places, and I haven't seen anyone from the Mexican government there. We would really, really like to have these discussions openly for internet governance and multi-stakeholder model to mean anything in this country and Mexico. And we hope that next year, if the IGF is in Mexico, we really can have these discussions in public, because it seems like we are talking to ourselves and you're talking to ourselves as well, and we really want to have meaningful discussion and accountability for these policies, which in our opinion infringe on human rights and in your opinion are non-relevant because you don't talk about them. So thank you.